Hi, this is Jim again. So, what's next? We talked about Tremaine and how I produced it. We talked about Tremaine and how we edited it and made the corrections. So now we're ready to go forward with publishing. It'll be in Kindle. It's self-published. You can do self-publishing or traditional. We've chosen self-publishing. Ultimately, I want to get to traditional, have an agent, find a literary house. But for right now, Tremaine follows the suit for I Am a Soldier First and Always, and it is self-published, and it will be on Amazon. So now that I've done that, what are we talking about? We're talking about reviews. We're talking about having it professionally reviewed by a number of different folks. So you can get a feel for where it is in the scheme of 1 to 5, which is normally the ratings, right? So you want to make your work known. That's the bottom line of the publishing. If you're confident with just putting a book on Amazon and letting it run, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. For me, I'd like to get my story known. I've spent a lot of time writing it. I want people to read it and hear what they think about it. So, now having said that, what we're talking about is getting it out there and getting it in front of people. There's different ways to go. It's got to be known in order to make sales. If that's your motivation, that's mine, is to try to get a few books sold. It's got to be seen by folks, it's got to be read by folks, and it's got to be available for them to know it's out there. So we're talking social media. So there are my accounts, my various accounts through social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, those kinds of things that I want to be able to post it on and tell people about that. Now there are folks that form groups, writers groups specifically, that I'm connected to that go a long way to, number one, helping you with advice and how to get it out there, and number two, making it known among the group itself and among their groups. So there are groups like the Online Book Club, there are groups like the Writers Forum, Historical Fiction Company, a number of different things that I'm a member of that I want to make sure it gets in front of them. So to do that, you got to make sure that it's constructed properly and it's out there in social media. So you also want to get it on your website if you have a website. That's a little bit of summary. You talk about your books, you talk about the future, you talk about where you're going with your writing, but it highlights the latest book, and they see the breadth and depth of what you've done to date. So there may be additional sales, there may be additional interest that they pass on to friends that they know. Now, having said that, there are a number of ways to get it out in front of folks that are different than social media. I'm a big advocate of festivals, book fairs, and those kinds of things where I get to talk to the public. A number of different folks come by your table. They look at all the things you've done. They look at your latest. You get to talk about each one of the books if it's of interest to them, and it's always paid off just in contacts with folks. I really enjoy telling the story. I really enjoy telling the connecting tissue between each one of the books and where I intend to go. It generates interest. Some folks just pick up your card. Some folks take bookmarks. Other folks will be very interested on the spot and buy one or more of your books because your salesmanship is you and how you interact with the public. It's great to tell your story on social media. It's great to tell your story on any of the websites, but it's very interesting to tell your story when you're looking face to face at somebody who's a prospective buyer. So now, having said that, we are moving forward with this. The next book fair that for us that's coming up is the 24th of March. It'll be here in Venice, and we will really spend a lot of time. We spend a bunch of hours really talking to folks